Peymon who?
Mata Heyday.
Peymon Lata Heyday. Who is he?
Never paid taxes in 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government. I'm Peymon Mutahede, president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. freedomlawschool.org is our website. And in this presentation, I will show you that the IRS, after almost 10 years of leaving non-filers alone, just finally restarted sending a few toothless letters to you, the American people, to scare you to be slaves. How you don't have to worry and you can be safe if you use your head rather than letting them make you scared. Let's go to first our website, freedomlawschool.org, of the 7 steps to free yourself of IRS deception, which leads to fear, and with that fear, they rob you and control you. And step 3 is a very key thing I need to teach you all, okay? It is that the IRS operates on deception and bluff. This is very important that you get this. That's why I have these cartoons there about the Wizard of Oz that the corrupt major media makes of the IRS. For you, Dorothy, and your friends to be afraid, and when Freedom Law School pulls the curtain, what do you see behind that? Oh, a bunch of incompetent, lazy, disorganized IRS employees on 1960s computer technology, and that's not an exaggeration, okay? And I'll show you, again, you'll find out that when the American people, here's a real reason why they pay income taxes, because we've been programmed to, by the IRS, the corrupt major media, news broadcasters, and even corrupt and deluded, preachers who tell us to pay your taxes. Fear, shock, adoration of government, relaxation, fatigue, that's how they get control of you, and I'm going to help you to free yourself of all of this if you just stay with me, okay? First, watch a short video. This short video symbolizes we the people are the ants, and the grasshoppers are the deep state, IRS, DOJ, crooked judges, FBI, CIA, all these guys for many, many decades have enslaved us. Income tax has been a scam lie for over 100 years. And here's the truth, said from the mouth of Hopper, the head of the deep state grasshoppers, trying to continue to enslave the ants, you. Here we go.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? How about this? You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Yeah, it's about keeping you, American ants, in line. Because we outnumber them, not 100 to 1, more than 1,000 to 1. We can bury them, folks. All those seeds falling on the grasshoppers, that's us. There's no way they can stand up to us if we wake up and see what's really going on that they don't want you to see and understand, okay? First, I'm going to give you some numbers from the IRS's own mouth that will shock you, okay? Here's a letter from the IRS in Washington, D.C., September 1998, from the paper tiger to this guy in Oregon, okay? And here, the second paragraph of his letter says something quite eye-opening. Based on our 1996 tax filing program, we estimate, the IRS really doesn't know, they're just giving a rough guess. There are approximately 63 million taxpayers who have not filed a tax return and initially would appear to have a legal requirement to file. That's right. Not 63,000. 63 million. And these are not the guys that make $500 or just $2,000. No. These are people IRS has had, according to them, requirement to file. They're made above the minimum exemption amount, right? Now it gets better. The further continues saying this estimate is based on data available to their service, the IRS, on the individual master computer file. Oh, you have this data based upon what? The W-2 your employer sends the IRS, the 1099 someone sends about you, or K1 partnerships. That's how I have this estimate. They don't really even know. It's just a rough number. Tell me, is there 63 million Americans in prison for not paying taxes? Nope. Is there 63 million Americans have the bank account and paycheck taken by the IRS? No. And guess what? The number of non-filers now, since 1996, has now risen to 80 to 90 million. Who knows? 1 out of every 3 Americans does not file. That's right. It's a huge number. This is a myth that if you don't file, you lose everything to the IRS, become a martyr, go to prison. It's just brainwashing they got done to you, okay? Let's go into this a little bit more before I get to letters, okay? So on our step 3, we cover the fact that the best way to have the IRS leave you alone is to stop filing 10 for income tax confession trap forms. That's right, these are confession forms against yourself. It's a trap that you walk yourself into and sign. Because the IRS in 2017 stopped going after people who do not file 10 for income tax confession trap forms for the following 7 reasons, which I don't have time to get into all of that right now. But to not even see this thing in 2025, right now, here we are, June 2025, the IRS started coming after a very small number of non-filers, and that's going to cover tonight in this presentation for you. First, let me show you this report from the IRS's auditors. Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, or TICTA. And this report is headlined, High Income Non-Filers owing billions of dollars are not being worked by the Internal Revenue Service. This is all public information, folks. Available, came out May 2020. And in this report, guess what? I've quoted this part in the report that these auditors of Treasury Department told the IRS, okay, to go after the rich non-filers, and the IRS said no. You see, U.S. Treasury auditors gave the IRS a list of 100 richest income tax non-filers who each would owe the IRS about $100,000 and recommend the IRS to go after these people for taxes. Now, of course, it's all fraud. The people in 50 states are not required to file income tax, but let's pretend for a minute that they do, okay? Now, you think the IRS would go after these people? Oh, no. No. Easy 10 billion. The IRS is so broken, disorganized, lazy, and irresponsible that the IRS refused to even commit a phony lip service even to go after these extremely rich, high-income non-filers. All that, you can read the source documents right there. The link is there. Now, there's another one. In 2017, report came out by the Treasury Inspector General about the IRS. It basically says IRS has chosen to leave income tax non-filers alone. And on the chart on the right, figure number 6, okay, you see the chart here, shows how non-filer case creation is. That blue line goes down to near 0 in 2016. And I've got how blown up the first 2 years. They sent about 1 million letters to scare non-filers to file. That's right. It's about 1 million non-filers. These are all toothless letters like the ones you got. I'm going to show you that in a minute, okay? Yes. They used to do that for decades. Send me some toothless letter to scare you. Whoa! IRS is going to get you. Even if fall on your own before the IRS gets you pounded to death. You know? So anyhow, and you see by year 2016, that became to near 0. So practically do the math, IRS management chose to leave 99.9% of non-filers alone. That's right. Just do the math for yourself. You see that, okay? Now, and for the report, you can read it for yourself verbatim. I got the language of them right there, okay? That they gave those 100 richest non-filers to the IRS, and IRS said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to say, take a hike, IRS. Treasury auditors. We're not going to go after these easy 100 richest non-filers you told us to go after, okay? Now, again, this other one I mentioned to you, 2017 one, which is very important report, has also more good stuff. Here's how this relates to the letters you got. Many of you got these letters. Since maybe last December 2024, I was asking you to file a tax return. And you see those letters right now. What does that mean? What is this all about? Let's look at these reports. Well, IRS tells us in these reports that they have non-filer cases identified by the IRS generally first go through a notice phase during which 1 or 2 notices are sent to taxpayers to remind them to file or explain why they're not required to file a tax return, okay? So, again, these are simply what? Just notice. They mean nothing. The letter you got in the mail is nothing new. They've done that for a long time. They mean 0. They're just scaring you. They just don't call them scare letters. They call them notices. Okay. So here's now another one of the quotes from these reports of the IRS. Okay, these cases now. Here we go. We'll issued the first delinquent return notice. Right? See, that's what they do. First notice, return delinquency, and if the taxpayer fails to respond, a second delinquent return notice will be issued. See, this has always been standard procedure from the IRS. Okay, they've always done this kind of thing to scare you to file a 1040 income tax confession form, to get you to be a slave on your own without the IRS having to do anything, because they get you to hang yourself. Here's number of non-filers identified by the IRS for your 2010, 2016. That's how many they know of. There's a lot more that they don't know. That's right. You see here, the number of non-filers have been going up since 2012 every year, and it's not even 50% of the actual non-filers, which we know is about 80-90 million now, okay? And here on this, they say that issuing non-filer notices can be a cost-effective tool that requires a little more than automated notices. Wow! Automated notices is all that IRS need to do. Yeah, what is that? Junk mail, garbage to scare you. That's all these letters are. Automated, you'll see. They're not sending by somebody who they're watching you. That's what they want you to believe. And here, IRS at irs.gov tells us about understanding your CP59 notice. Okay, what is this notice about? We have no record that you filed your prior year personal income tax return. Yep. And of course, they want you to call them, they want you to file, but guess what? You do nothing, nothing will happen. Just like junk mail, try to sell you some product, you can just trash can. Legally, it means zero. They don't have to send it out to you, and you don't have to respond either. Okay? Here it is. Let's look at one. Here it is on the top right, IRS notice CP 59. From the IRS office in Austin, Texas, is sending some of these things out. Oh, look at that. Time-sensitive information. Open immediately. Wow, are you scared? Open immediately. Time-sensitive. We'll get you otherwise if you don't act quickly enough. Be scared right away. Immediately act. Right? So here it is, and this person you see in Littleton, Colorado, they say you need to file your 2023 1040 income tax return. December 23rd, 2024. What you need to do immediately, right now, like drop everything, immediately do that, right? Okay? File your 2023 tax return in bold, either electronically or by mail. Oh, did we make a mistake? If you don't need to file, guess what? File something else. File this other form, 15103. Why would you have to file anything at all with the IRS? Are you a slave to the U.S. government? Do they own you? No, they don't. Okay? See, they still want you to file no matter what. Okay? So they want you to file this 15103 form, and if we don't hear from you, now they're trying to entice you. You may lose your claim for a refund or certain credits. Oh, but we may determine your tax for you. An applicable penalty and interest charge may continue to accrue. Oh my gosh. More penalty, more interest. Be scared. Oh, more fear-mongering. You may become subject to backup withholding. If you receive interest and dividend income, you don't file your return. Oh my gosh. Look at this letter. It's just like computer-generated junk. They don't even put a name, a phony computer name on a letter. Because they know it's junk. Let's not do any games. It's just a phony scare letter. Right? So if you ignore this, guess what happens? Oh, let's understand the next scare letter. CP 5818, individual's notice. IRS tells us that this is a final reminder that we still have no record that you filed your prior tax returns. Wow! Ooh, final reminder. That sounds scary. Oh my gosh, you want to come take my stuff? My bank account? My paycheck? And my property? Are you scared yet? Huh? I'm telling you, don't worry about it. And here's the actual letter. Same couple in Little Colorado was sent this letter from IRS's Austin, Texas office, CP 518. And about that February 3rd, 2023, just over a month later, this one says, you must file your 2023 tax return. We have sent you prior notices, which is a lie. There's only one notice, non-notices. But IRS writers are not very smart. Their grammar's not very good. They call one notice notices. Right? Nobody proved that there are 4 letters, but still have not heard from you. What you need to do immediately, again, same thing. you scare you. But now, after telling you they want you to file and pay, they say, what may happen if we don't hear from you? Again, they don't mention the benefits of filing and getting a refund. They only use more fear-mongering, okay? We may file your tax for you. Oh, you have you may allow to receive available deduction of credits, and you risk losing your refund. Oh, come on. What are your payment options? Oh, it's a given. You're going to pay. It's a given. You're going to pay, right? Just a matter of how you have options to pay. Again, this is the form they want you to file 15103 instead of a 1040 tax form. Same thing. They want you to fill out something to declare yourself a slave of the IRS. What if you ignore that? Oh, then there's a third letter, by the way. There's more. There's a LT26 notice, IRS tells us. And what is this about? We previously contacted you to file your federal tax returns, but we didn't receive a response. You must file your tax returns immediately. Be scared. Come on, fear is our tool. We've got to scare you to make yourself a slave. Be scared, please. Right? And here's the actual notice L26. Guess what? Same people in Colorado got this letter from the IRS in Cincinnati, Ohio office now. Okay? And it's now, this one's longer. It's 2 pages long. Uh-oh! Please file your missing returns. Oh, they're using nice language now. They're saying, pretty please. They're more polite now. They use a different tactic. They be nice to you, would you please? You think the first letter would be pleased, the next one would be more fear-mongering. But no, they got all the way around, right? They're talking tough, didn't work, now they're trying to talk nice. So, again, we're trying to collect unfiled returns from you. Again, they're assuming you're a slave. They're assuming you're a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C., and have a legal requirement to file and pay federal income tax when you're not. 99.9% of you are not from Washington, D.C., and you're not required to file and pay federal income or payroll taxes to begin with, right? So here we go. Again, same kind of thing. You see, I'm not going to go over this in much more detail, okay? They're saying here, they mentioned on page 2, summary of missing tax returns, 2023, 1040 form, U.S. individual income tax return, okay? You know, and they say, here we go, the more threatening language about penalties and interest is always there. And they say, call us. Oh, yes. IRS provides help. You can call the IRS at 800-829-3903 because somebody will scare you on the phone that you better file. We got specialists on the line waiting for you to make you scared that you should file, otherwise you're going to lose everything you got. That's what their plan is. Okay? So, all these letters mean absolutely nothing. You don't need to be afraid of these letters at all. Complete junk. Again, I'll repeat, you can throw it in the trash. And look at this one, Bubba. This one was sent on what date? By the way, this one was sent on May 12, 2025. Okay? So from December 24 to May 25, they sent 3 letters within the course of almost 6 months, and nothing happens. Nothing moves. No consequence whatsoever. No need to be afraid of them at all, okay? What the IRS needs to do, if they really want to come after you by law, is to send you a notice of deficiency. Yes. Internal Revenue Code Section 6212 requires them to send you a notice of deficiency. If the IRS really wants to come after someone that doesn't file a 1040 income tax confession form, they will have to, by law, send him a notice of deficiency under Section 6212 of the Internal Revenue Code, okay? And here, in this law, it's very clear. It says if the secretary, that is the IRS, wants to come after somebody, there it is, okay? They're authorized to send a notice of such deficiency to the taxpayer by certified or registered mail. That is what the law says. All these audits are legally meaningful. The CPA and tax accountants and accountants who claim to know tax law, they are worthless. They're ignorant of the law. They're basically glorified bookkeepers, because when you get a notice of deficiency, they do not know what to do. In fact, I come across some of these accountants who say, what is a notice of deficiency anyway? They don't even know about that. They know if they want to come after you, they have to send you a notice of deficiency, okay? And your right to challenge. You can challenge them, okay? You have the right to challenge that, okay? Under the very next section, 6213 of the Internal Revenue Code, you can challenge this all in the U.S. tax court. So section 6213 says what? The taxpayer, you, the target that they come after, may file a petition with the tax court for redetermination of the deficiency tax proposal. The proposal of the IRS, you can go to tax court over that. And no assessment or a determination or fixing the amount of the tax deficiency or shortage of the tax. And no levy, which means taking your money from your bank account, paycheck from a third party by force. No money can be taken by force, or proceedings in court for its collection of the tax shall be made. None whatsoever, okay, if a petition has been filed with the U.S. tax court until the decision of the tax court has become final. Until the tax court is over, there's no determining the tax, there's no owning the tax, there's no collection of any kind by the IRS. You are completely safe. Whether the tax court process takes 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years or more, it doesn't matter. You're completely protected. And because they have only 19 tax court judges, the IRS cannot overburden these judges with too many cases. That's why the IRS sends out these automated junk mail, scare letters to people en masse, hoping that you on your own get scared, and the Wizard of Oz did the job of having you surrender your rights, surrender your freedoms, and under oath sign that 1040 form under penalty of perjury. And on line 37 of that 1040 form, you state how much you owe the IRS. Here's this one for $710, amount due. They said it's coupled March 2025, okay? 4 year 2021, okay? And the proposed amount due, it's all here. By law, this is the IRS must send you. And they tell you, you can contest the changes by filing a petition in the U.S. tax court. The last date to file a petition with tax court is June 2nd, 2025 in this case. See, when you don't file, you don't confess to owing the IRS money, you don't put the rope around your neck and hand it to the IRS. Now, they have to give you a tax proposal letter called the Notice of Deficiency and give you right to a full-blown trial in the U.S. tax court. We have to take the time of IRS appeals officer, IRS lawyer, judge's clerk, the judge, all the legal processes, right? You know, the judge has to fly to the town near you to conduct a trial. It costs them way too much money. In this case, for example, that the $710 this guy supposedly owed the IRS. Okay? The IRS cannot do that. So they don't issue notice deficiencies to very many people at all. Okay? And here's why. They don't come after non-filers. Okay? Here's an example of how IRS is so overburdened. This is a case I covered last week of this toothless private collection agency, Coast Professional, okay, is writing this guy in May of 2025 because they owe this supposedly to the IRS. How much? Over $500,000. In fact, here's the exact amount: is $658,000 plus 4 years, 2000, what? 12 and 16 through 21. All these years, okay? And the IRS is giving this person a letter saying, look, this is the annual letter IRS is supposed to send you. Here's a notice. Send the money not to us, but to the IRS. Why doesn't the IRS itself send the letter out to the people to pay the IRS directly? Oh, IRS's computers are so messed up. They have to have a third party send a letter to the people saying, please pay the IRS. Over $500,000. IRS doesn't pursue this guy. Right? They're so overburdened. There's too many of us, not enough of them. Remember, these ounce outnumber us 100 to 1. And if you ever figured out you American slaves, ants, the gig is up for them. It's over. Got it? So that's why I use fear, intimidation instead. Okay? So because they don't have enough resources, they don't come after you. Okay? On our website, by the way, you have a blog, progression of the letters IRS sends out. We have it here. This progression letter, it's an old book. We're going to update it with the new letters we got. It's all here. IRS has to send you a notice deficiency down the road. Even if you were to lose, they have to send you what's called a final notice of intent to levy and your right to hearing to challenge IRS's collection action if you choose to do it, which you should. See, the problem is these accountants, CPAs, they do not know how to challenge the U.S. Government, IRS, and U.S. tax court. You know why? Because they were not taught any law in accounting classes. No, accountants, CPAs are not taught any tax law in the Internal Revenue Code, the Bible of the IRS. There's glorified bookkeepers, glorified form fillers. That's all they are. That's why, okay, they say you lose to the IRS because they don't take you to tax court to challenge the IRS as you can and should. And Freedom Law School does for all of our Restore Freedom Plan members. We challenge them. I've been in the IRS myself, and I've done all without an attorney, going to tax court, federal district court, IRS appeals. Don't need an attorney. It can be done without an attorney because I'll read the law. Okay? So here we go now. We're almost done, folks. Hang in there. Okay? Then I want you to know that be aware of a lot of basis legal theories out there, patriot mythologies. Here's a few of those basis legal theories. Please do not rely on those garbage theories out there. They're all useless. For over 30 years, I've seen these kind of nonsense people use, and they get in trouble and don't work if the IRS come after you. Remember, vast majority of non-filers, 99+% of non-filers are completely left alone by the IRS. But if you rely on this nonsense, if they come after you, you will lose. So please do not rely on this nonsense that is out there, okay? So you're going to come back, folks, to our step 3 and really educate yourself about the IRS, okay? Now, some people say, well, Peymon, what if I'm that guy, the IRS does come after me? Because you told me they are coming after a very small number of non-filers. Tiny amount? Yes, very tiny amount. they start going after. But they can do no more than a tiny bit amount. You know why? Here is why they're going to come after you all. Because according to law, okay, the U.S. tax court has only at most 19 judges. That's right. These 19 people only are supposed to give a trial, tax trial for up to 300 million people, for corporations, trusts, LLCs, you know, all kind of different kind of cases. Only 19 of them. Yeah, they simply do not have enough judges to handle all the large numbers of non-filers of about 80, 90 million. Look at the tax court's website itself. They have 80 judges right now. The senior judges, okay, they only come here cases once in a while because they are retired. Special trial judges handle cases that are under 50,000, and you agreed to have the tax court judge your case. It's under 50,000, and no appeal to the Federal Court of Appeal, which you have a right to. If you do it properly, like Freedom Law School does, you have a right to go to that Court of Appeal, potentially even the Supreme Court, over your tax case. There's too many of us out there. That's why they don't issue these people, non-filers, those deficiencies, okay? And look, here's some government's own data, okay? What does it show? That every year tax code already has around 25,000 cases they hear. That's right. See, look at the numbers. From 17 to 24, the numbers are roughly around 25,000. Anywhere from 17,000 up to 35,000. About 25,000. There's about 1,000 cases per one tax court judge already. And even if 900 of them get settled out of court somehow, or they got to show up to trial, each judge hears about 100 cases a year, which is a lot. That's about 8 cases every month when he takes vacation. Okay? So there's no way they can come after you non-filers en masse. Okay? Know that, my friend, that you're in good hands. And if you want to be safe, here's your option. You can do it on your own. The IRS is leaving, as I said, 99+% of non-filers alone. But if you have the spirit of America's founding fathers, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, those guys, and are willing to put a little bit of skin in the game, not like them. They put their lives, their fortune, their sacred honor on the line for the revolution to give us freedom. I don't want you to do any of that stuff. All I want you to do or propose to you is put a little bit of money that you would have given to the IRS already. Take 30% of what you would have given to the IRS and put that in your Restore Freedom plan. To restore freedom for you and your family and your children and grandchildren and on. That's what this Restore Freedom plan is all about. Yes. Okay? So you can enjoy 100% guarantee safety from the IRS when you legally stop filing and pay income taxes, as long as you are a member of the Restore Freedom Plan. And Freedom Law School will prevent the IRS from lending your money by using lawful means, right? We challenge them properly, right? Through the system, through the laws provide all that. Challenges, like tax court, or Freedom Law School will reimburse you anything the IRS takes from you, and you will not go to prison. Very simple, folks, okay? By coming together. Thomas Jefferson told the founding fathers at the time of the Revolution, gentlemen, we shall hang together, or we shall alone hang separately. Hang together, like the founding fathers, learn from them by joining the Restore Freedom Plan. That way you have the peace of mind that you really want for you and your family and safety. That's right. So if you go to our website, it's all there. You are draining the corrupt swamp by not paying the IRS, and the crooks in there, the criminals that are working against you. Your no tax percent guaranteed, yes, because we confront the lawmakers with the law in our petitions. Quote it, print it, okay, attach, send to the lawmakers to refute, which they can never do. Custom responses to IRS letters are included. Unlimited consultations. That's right. All that's paid for with a flat annual membership of you to Restoring America to Freedom, and you can even get paid by sharing the good news with fellow Americans, your family members, friends, co-workers, anybody you know, okay? So this is the simple solution for freedom for America, people. We can't make it happen, okay, if we work together, okay? You don't need to be afraid of them. These letters you got, again, file 13 of them. You don't have to respond to them. Because remember, on our website, step 1 is what? Cover the law. Follow the law is the number one thing for your law school teachers, right? No law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income and payroll taxes, okay? And see that freedomlawschool.org and call us if you have any questions. These brochures will be mailed to you at no charge to pass your friends, family members, co-workers, everybody out there at your place of business. Put it out there. Text about us. Email about us. Repost our videos anywhere on social media you want and get the word out about America. We're taking it back. You just gotta love and spread the truth, okay? And go out there, be a modern day Paul Revere. Restore America's families and America by arming your fellow Americans with the law. That's how we're going to get America back. So you can be free like me at freedomlawschool.org. Continue education. Seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free at freedomlawschool.org. Drive around town, put your cell phone, put our videos up, listen as you drive. When you go to work, at lunch, dinner at home, listen and watch it this time and see, wow, I know the truth. I'm out of the matrix of deception and free. It's yours, brothers and sisters. I love you. Opportunity for freedom is yours to take. Go and do it for yourself, your family, and anybody you love. At freedomlawschool.org.